This channel is sponsored by Pro Football Focus. NFL, college, and fantasy data for every player, every play, every game. Visit ProFootballFocus.com to learn more. It's the start of the 2020 NFL season, and we are live from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, for this matchup between the Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. The Packers are your defending Super Bowl champs, and the 49ers won the 2018 Super Bowl. Mack Kenny is your starter, taking on Aaron Rodgers. It's been a while since they've faced Aaron Rodgers straight up. He's had a lot of injury concerns in their past few matchups. Matt Bosher will boot it deep to Antonio Moody, and we are underway as Moody tries to spin, but is brought down at the 19-yard line. That is where the 49ers will start off from. A lot of changes to this team. Here comes Mack Kenny, now the third-year man out of Villanova. He won the starting spot almost by default. Brady Johns got benched. Kenny came in, was dominant. Then he got hurt, and they traded Brady Johns in the offseason. Hand off Jamon Alden. You're going to see a lot of Jamon Alden. So that's a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 from the 21-yard line. Kenny coming out of the shotgun. Looking around, fires it to Nate Hill over the middle. Got away from Taylor, and that's going to be a pickup of 20 yards. Nate Hill working out of the slot a little bit. Interesting to see. 1st and 10 from the 41. Kenny with a deep ball to Hill. Just a little late. Great effort from Hill, but he could not get both feet in bounds. 2nd and 10, handoff Jamon Alden out of Pittsburgh, and Alden will pick up the first. 1st and 10 from the 48. Kenny play action fake, rolls out, hit as he throws, and incomplete. Taylor again, this time with the pressure. 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line. Deangelo Daniel in. Complete to Bernie Lauderdale, who powers his way forward. That's going to be a first down for the 49ers. 1st and 10 from the 38. Handoff Martwan Austin, who's now the backup running back after Elgin Armstead was not re-signed. 2nd and 3. It's a drag to Jamon Mason. Mason with speed spins, and Jamon Mason is in. Touchdown 49ers early and often. As Jamon Mason got away from Casey Hayward, it's 7-0. San Francisco out on top. The kickoff is to Niall Davis from Brandon McManus. Niall Davis has a lane. Niall Davis down the sideline as he's shoved out of bounds at midfield. That is where Aaron Rodgers and the Packers will start off from. Here he comes, Aaron Rodgers. The reigning Super Bowl MVP and MVP in general. He mounted a 22-point fourth-quarter comeback to win over the Buffalo Bills. 2nd and 7, handoff to Eddie Lacy, and Ben Doyle, the starting DT, is there. Dundrecous Smith forced it. Dundrecous Smith being Thunder, Nate Hill being Lightning, reunited after a few years apart after playing together at Tennessee. 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. Kenny play action fake, looks, throws a touch pass to Bernie Lauderdale, who got away from Martin Roberts but could not stay in bounds. That's a huge first down. Kenny's 5 for 7 to start things off. Working out of the pistol. Quick pass to Jamon Mason on the bubble screen, and he'll pick up 2. Something to note on Mack Kenny, he spent the entire preseason and offseason working on a new release. It's a lot faster as he gets hit from his blind side off play action, incomplete. So watch out for Kenny. He's getting the ball out of his hand a lot faster this season than last. While he was efficient last year, his deep accuracy definitely was impacted by it, so his new throwing motion could be a big deal. 2nd and 8 from the 38-yard line, coming out of the I formation. Devontae Parker in motion. Rodgers looks around, throws to Charles Johnson. The former 49ers wide receiver is met by Darius Moats as they found the soft spot in the zone. 2nd and 7 from the 29-yard line. Rodgers looking around, throws to Lacy, who could not hold on. Just a straight drop for Eddie Lacy. 3rd and 7 from the 29-yard line. Cobb in motion. Rodgers looks around, has a lot of time, but no one's really open. He finds Charles Johnson. Tons of time in the pocket for Rodgers. Found the soft spot in the cover 3 defense, and that's a huge third down conversion for Green Bay. Now it's 1st and goal. Kyle Davis in the backfield. From the 10, handoff Davis, who tries to spin, gets away from Dallas Austin, but is met by Dundrecous Smith, Jamal McNeil, and Malcolm Jenkins. 2nd and goal from the 8. Rodgers throws a fader to Randall Cobb as Darius Moats breaks it up. 3rd and goal from the 8. Trips to his left. Lacey back in. Spread out wide is Javier Norwood. They throw the fader to Norwood, and it's broken up once more. Back-to-back faders, back-to-back failures. Ensuing kickoff from Matt Bosher to Le'Veon Duncan, who will return it from about 2 yards deep. Duncan, he's going to kick it to the outside. He breaks a tackle. Le'Veon Duncan in the open field. The 40, 30, tracked down and brought down at the 16-yard line by Nick Toon. What a return by Le'Veon Duncan. It sets up great field position for the 49ers. 1st and 10, it's a pitch to 2nd-round prospect Kevin Everett out of USC, as Everett will pick up 10 on his first carry in the NFL. 2nd and inches from the 6. Alden back in. Kenny working out of the pistol. Rolls out to his right. Mack Kenny dives into the end zone for the touchdown. His first career rushing touchdown. Hard to believe, but Mack Kenny is in, and it's 14-3. Lance Kendricks in motion. Handoff to Eddie Lacy. And Eric Reed is there. A dynamic duo of Reed and Dundrecous Smith at inside backer. 2nd and 9 from the 21-yard line. Rodgers coming out in the shotgun. He's going to look around, throws, and it's intercepted! Jamal McNeil with the pick. Rodgers never saw him in that cover 1 defense. He just kind of collapsed in. And while Norwood got some space, it obviously wasn't enough to get away from McNeil. 2nd and 13 from the 27-yard line. Kenny under siege and is sacked from behind. Russell got to him. 3rd and 20 from their own 33-yard, from the Packers' 33-yard line. Kenny looks around, dumps it off to Kevin Everett. Everett going to try to make something happen. Kevin Everett with a juke has the first down and more. Kevin Everett juked out Clinton Dix and Casey Hayward to pick up that first down on 3rd and 20. 1st and goal from the 7. Handoff Alden. And Jamon Alden will pick up about 4. 2nd and goal from the 3. Daniel and Mason in. They're kind of tied to the line of scrimmage. Mack motions Daniel out. Kenny throws the fader to Deangelo Daniel, who hauls it in for the touchdown. It was an obvious mismatch working against the much smaller Clinton Dix, and Deangelo Daniel boxed him out and hauled it in for his first touchdown as a member of the 49ers. It's 21-3. Jamon Alden is stuffed, setting up a 3rd and 10 following the Packers punt. 3rd and 10 from the 30. Kenny off play action finds Bernie Lauderdale, who gets away from the defense. Lauderdale with speed, met by 2 Packers, but breaks away! Bernie Lauderdale will waltz his way in for a 70-yard touchdown. Watch it one more time. He's met by 2 Packers, and the strong Lauderdale stays on his feet through contact, and he is gone. It's a 25-point 49ers lead. It's still the first half, as that's complete to Devontae Parker. 3rd and 1 from the 39-yard line. Rodgers looks around, throws for Javier Norwood, who has the first down, only a gain of 3. Rodgers 7 for 13, 79 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. 2-minute warning from their own 41. Rodgers feels the pressure, is drilled by Sedale Hunt, but finds Charles Johnson once more. 3rd and 1 from the 49. Rodgers looks, throws for Johnson, working against Priester. A jump ball in the 6'4". Charles Johnson hauls it in. 1st and 10, right back to him. Charles Johnson, a very good route runner, gets away from JT Ogletree. 2nd and 3 from the 26. Rodgers is sacked! His former teammate, Mike Daniels, in on the sack. 3rd and 8 from the 30. Rodgers feels the pressure from Dallas Austin, the Texas Wrangler, and that's going to be another field goal for Mason Crosby. The kick is up and it is good, and we go into the half with the score 28-6. 49ers have the lead. Can the Green Bay Packers complete another 22-point comeback? Or is this game all but over? Find out right after this. And we are back. The Packers start out with the football in the second half of play, and they come out in the I formation. It's a handoff to Eddie Lacy. Gets some good blocking. Eddie Lacy gets away from Malcolm Jenkins. Eddie Lacy into the open field is tracked down from behind by Voorhees Priester. But that is a gain of about 42 yards. That's a hell of a run for Eddie Lacy. 1st and 10 from the 38. Rodgers finds Javier Norwood, who got away from Aaron Lynch, and Norwood is into the end zone. The Packers with a quick strike to start off this second half, and they're going for 2 to make it a 14-point deficit. Rodgers comes out empty. Looks around, throws on the stick to Javier Norwood. It's 28-14. 1st and 10 from the 32, handoff Jamon Alden. Jamon Alden breaks a tackle, and Jamon Alden will pick up 9. 11 carries, 25 yards for Alden. The trenches have been pretty good in this ballgame for both teams. 2nd and 1, handoff. Alden could not get away and spring open a huge run, but he does pick up the first. 2nd and 7 from the Packers' 48-yard line. They come out stacked on both sides. Kenny looks around, throws to Jamon Mason, who gets a block. Jamon Mason with speed, and Jamon Mason is gone. The league doesn't have an answer for Mason's elite speed, and it's quite evident here. 2 touchdowns already. It's 35-14. 1st and 10, going after Voorhees Priester, Randall Cobb. Very tight window for Aaron Rodgers, but he completes the pass. 2nd and 12, airs it deep for Cobb, and it's broken up. Heath Jackson and Darius Moats converge and break it up. 3rd and 12 from the 39, Rodgers crushed, finds Cobb, who's forced out of bounds by, I believe that is Voorhees Priester. That's going to be another Mason Crosby field goal attempt from the left hash. 49 yards out, the kick is up and it is good. It's 35-17. But you're not going to win this game if you're the Packers, kicking only field goals. 1st and 10, complete to Nate Hill. Another beautiful pass from Mack Kenny, threading the needle. 1st and 10 from the 47. Kenny, quick throw to Riley Stone, his first NFL reception. 2nd and 3 from the 40-yard line. Kenny, under pressure, only a 2-man route. And he's going to find Chris Arnold, had plenty of time with that 7-man protection or 8-man protection. 1st and 10 from the 12. Kenny in the shotgun. Looks left, throws for Deangelo Daniel, who is in once again. His 2nd touchdown of the game. And that's going to be it for Mack Kenny. He checks out 17 for 20, 5 touchdowns, no picks, and a rushing touchdown. After Aaron Rodgers got beat up a little bit, Dylan Thompson is in. And he's 3 for 3 as he finds Charles Johnson on that play. Rodgers is back in, 2nd and 5. The pass to Eddie Lacy on the screen. He's not going anywhere. Eric Reed right there with him. 3rd and 8 from the 37. Rodgers throws, finds Javier Norwood. And Norwood will pick up the first down. He's a pretty good tight end for this Packers offense. Instrumental in their Super Bowl run last season. 1st and 10 from the 28. Rodgers looking around and is sacked. The Texas Wrangler Dallas Austin gets to him. 2nd and 18 from the 36. Rodgers checks it down to Norwood, who is leveled by Dundrecous Smith. Thunder with the boom. 3rd and 9 from the 27-yard line. Coming on the shotgun. Rodgers looks, throws, and it's intercepted! Byron Jones with the pick! 1 man to beat, and it's Rodgers, and he is gone! Pick 6 for Byron Jones. Rodgers' second interception of the game. It is now 49-17. Inside a minute and a half left. Rodgers looks, throws for Charles Johnson, who found the soft spot in the zone yet again. That's going to be a first down. First and 10 from the 43. Complete again to Johnson. Almost sprung it away from Jamal McNeil, but he was tracked down. First and 10 from the 36. Rodgers looks, throws, right back to him. Charles Johnson dominating late in this game. 12 receptions for 192 yards. First and 10, complete to Norwood, but Heath Jackson will not let him in the end zone. First and goal from the 1. Rodgers under siege and is sacked. Mike Daniels again. Third and goal from the 12 with 15 seconds left. Coming out of the pistol. Rodgers. Play action fake under tons of pressure. Throws! And it's intercepted by Malcolm Jenkins. And that will be your ball game. Final score is 49-17. The 49ers make a statement week 1 as they knock off the defending Super Bowl champs in their building by 32 points. Mack Kenny was so good, he didn't even touch the field in the fourth quarter. Rodgers struggled, but the Packers' defense really was the story of this game. They could not stop the 49ers' offense at all. 9.3 yards per play for the 49ers, 3 takeaways, and no turnovers of their own. Only 3 for 5 on third down. That's how efficient the 49ers were. 12 first downs, tons of big plays, and the Packers just couldn't stop them. Kenny goes 3 quarters, puts up 158.3 passer rating. That's as good as you can get. Ironically, 3 players had a perfect passer rating in week 1. Brady Johns on the Bears in a full start, and Nick Foles in a limited role also had that. 3 quarterbacks who have started for this 49ers team in the past few years. Mack Kenny is your offensive player of the week, and we'll take a look and see what those Bears did against the 4-12 Tennessee Titans, the team with the worst record in the NFL, in Soldier Field. Brady Johns, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Kind of crazy how much they mirrored. Obviously, one was at home versus the worst team, the other was on the road versus the best team. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to track Brady Johns as the season goes on. I'm Moonlight Swami, and I'll be talking to you guys later. Peace!